One of the reasons that I absolutely love this place is because not only do you have the main lake that you can hit whenever you want,
Yeah.
if you're up for a little adventure, it's available. What is it?
It's great because we've got 18 other lakes running around. So if you want to hit the main lake, it's cool at 18. You jump on an ATV, you take a nice trail out somewhere, you're in the middle of the bush, you got your own lake, your own boat. It's pretty cool. You never know what you're going to catch, knowing you're going to have wonderful fishing.
Yeah.
And the next day, you get to try a different lake. It's kind of fun.
All right, let's hop on and let's hit it.
Absolutely.
There are boats strategically placed at each of the 18 backcountry lakes, so you can rotate lakes throughout your stay. We arrived at our lake and found success immediately.
Here we go. Good fishing for all of 10 seconds.
Gotta love that. We might be onto the Topwater today. This is sweet.
Wow, what a way to start the morning.
Are you kidding me?
That didn't take long.
We still have the engine running. We're just backing out.
Exactly. All right, first cast. That's a good omen.
It's a great omen. Oh, and a face wash to boot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good day, Mark.
Oh, that's a good fish, Ted.
Right off that log.
Yeah, man, that's a big one. Get out of there, man. Look, he's pulling the boat in.
Yeah. He wants to get back in there.
Back to his home. You know, you probably wouldn't want to go any lighter than a 6-weight with these smallies on this system. They are strong.
You need some with a little backbone.
Oh, he's barely hooked too.
Especially when you get into a big one. Oh, right.
Nice grab.
Oh, good fish.
3 pounds?
Absolutely. That's going 17 plus.
17 inches plus.
Excellent. Wow, you just barely got him. Oh, he was sitting right underneath that log.
17-inch smallmouth. Log fishing with poppers. You gotta love it. That is incredible. What a great take. Oh, they just hit so voraciously sometimes, it's unbelievable. Now, one of the things that I've learned while fishing topwater here on this little lake is there's 2 things that you need to be aware of while you're fishing. It's ideal when those bass come up and crush your popper as soon as it hits the water. But this isn't happening today, and they're hitting it in 2 very different ways. Way number 1 is that they're hitting it really hard after it's been sitting for a long time. The second way is that they're just gently sipping it down and you don't even see a ripple. Now, nice fish, great. Now, because of that behavior, when they're just gently sipping it, there's a couple things that you need to do. Number 1 is you always need to be watching your popper because the popper will disappear and you won't even know it unless you're watching. Number 2 is in a drift situation, you always need to keep your line tight to the popper. So as you're drifting towards where the popper is, you need to gently strip in so that you're tight to it without moving that popper. And sure enough, you wait long enough and the fish are there, it's gonna drive them nuts and you're gonna hook up. I don't think he's gonna come back. I think I tagged. Oh, so that's the second time that fish hit that fly. Ted, I'm a firm believer that different fish of the same species have very different personalities. You feel the same sentiment?
Oh, absolutely. It's all based on environment and almost on a daily basis. Things can change it up. So, you know, if you got a crayfish if you got crayfish running around, they got to be a little more aggressive versus, let's say, a mayfly hatch where you got spinners just coming down. They can be a lot less aggressive.
So do you think that's why we're seeing such a difference in the hits today? Do you think the crayfish might be a little early and there's some violence going on?
They could be emerging in this lake because it's shallower for sure. You also have some of the post-spawn going on here as well. So you've got some fish that are very aggressive, and we actually just saw a big caterpillar hatch running around. So, you know, you've got a lot of different food sources running around and different ways to get at them.
Right. So that's why I love fishing topwater, is because it's very cerebral, it's very mental. You can't take your eye off your popper for a moment because you know that that's when that 23-incher is going to whack you.
Of course.
Now, this guy isn't quite 23, but hey, man, smallmouth bass on popper, I'll take them all day long, no matter the size. Little water wolves, right? Just attitude, attitude, attitude. I like. Ted, a 15-minute walk through pristine boreal forest. You might as well have taken a 4.5-hour bush plane ride into the middle of nowhere. This is, look, goosebumps. This is absolutely incredible.
It's great. It's 3 miles long. We got bald eagles. We got a lake all to ourselves, and it's going to be fishing nirvana in a minute.
So what are we after here?
Big bass. We got some pike, but I think we'll concentrate on the bass. The topwater should be really good today.
Yeah.
Nice and quiet. The bass are all over the place, as you know, from yesterday's fishing. Mm-hmm. It's going to be lights out.
Lights out and epic. This is a big fish lake, isn't it?
Big fish, a lot of trophies. You get big lakers, pike, but we're going to go after some really big bass in here. Absolutely.
These bumps are still here. Let's go. You know, we've been here for about 2 hours and we've released probably 15, 17 smallies already, but Ted suggests that things are a little slow. So I'm actually, on his recommendation, gonna put something a little darker on. I left my black poppers back at the shop, but I've got a dark green here, and I think that that just might be dark enough for it. Ted, this spot looks absolutely incredible.
Best spot on the lake, Mark. 3 miles long. Right in here, you got this beautiful little hump. On the right side, you got these rocks with these little drop-offs. On the left side, you got a beaver lodge, an emerging weed bed. Great place for some real big fish.
I'm varying my retrieve up a little bit here because the fish haven't quite told us what they're looking for today. I'm doing everything from a big pop to really make a violent popper noise to a tiny little push that just creates new ripples on the water for the popper. Pretty soon when it'll explode on it, we'll know exactly what they're looking for. Got him! Right from under that log. What a violent smash. I just talked about how you have to vary the retrieve when you're figuring out what these bass want. But a big part of varying the retrieve is actually the non-retrieve. And what I mean by that is sometimes you just have to let them sit. Just let that popper sit until all the rings are gone. Give it a tiny little tug, and boom, explosion. It's just what happened. That bass came out from under that log. Maybe they wanted it a little slower today.
One of the benefits of Hawk Lake Lodge is access. There isn't any access to any of the lakes in the Hawk Lake system except through the lodge itself. It's guaranteed exclusive.
We're the only boat on the water, so it's great because we've an agreement with M&R, Fish and Wildlife, and we're the only ones that are allowed to keep boats in each one of these 18 lakes, not including the main lake where we have a whole fleet of boats, of course. So each day, you're going to go out there and you're going to pick a lake, depending on what you want to catch. You want to go topwater, you want to go walleye fishing, pike fishing, you name it. And you hike all the way out, as we just did this morning, and you're the only boat on the lake. So for all intents and purposes, it's your private lake for the day. It really keeps it interesting when you try to mix it up and have a fun vacation over a multi-day fishing trip.
You know, one of the great things to do when you're fishing exclusively topwater is to make sure that you have a wide variety of flies in your box. And I don't mean just different kinds of bugs and different kinds of terrestrials. I mean sizes. Different sizes are very important. From bugs that you think that fish would never hit because they're so big, like big mouse patterns, to tiny little baby frog patterns. I put on one of those, a little dark green frog with some yellow legs, and this girl came up and whacked it on top. Oh yeah, good fish. All right. You know, when you come to lakes that have high, healthy populations of smallmouth bass, make sure you've got a wide variety of topwater flies so that you can work on honing your craft as a topwater angler. It sure is fun to be able to have a playground where you can experiment all day long.
Ted told me of a walk-to spot that would get us out of the wind, so we decided to pull up and hike a short distance to Lost Lake.
So this is Lost Lake?
Here you go. The second portage gets fished maybe 5 times a year.
Seriously?
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Untouched.
Untouched.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, yeah.
You're on your own. We didn't bring a net.
That's fine by me. That's incredible. I was casting towards the beaver dam, and I thought my popper fell back and hit the water. So I stopped and I went, hold on, I've got 50, 60 feet of line out. There's no way, it could have been right here. Sure enough, I dropped the popper in and boom, it's lights out.
Fun to explore.
Oh, is it ever? This is perfect. If you love to get out of your comfort zone and go for a walk and be adventurous, this is the place to do it. You've got access to so many different lakes, so many different water bodies that hold big smallmouth and lots of pike, lake trout. It's heaven. It's absolute angler heaven. Come here, buddy. How's that for a walk-in fish? Thank you, buddy. Smallmouth bass on fly. You cannot beat it. Hi, I'm Mark Melnyk from the new Fly Fisher television show. If you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Also, we're uploading new videos all the time, so hit the bell to be notified when the next one goes up.